York's classic rock, Q1043.
Here's the new normal. First time I'm doing a Zoom interview with Dennis DeYoung of Styx fame. Welcome to Zoom Q104.3. It's weird. You've done these before? Yes, it's still weird.
I have suddenly become the fashionista of Zoom. I don't know how these things happen, Ken. I just did. Here's the story. You know, I have a new record coming out, and I released it on March 3rd, which was 2 days before the WHO, and I don't mean Townsend and Daltrey, announced a worldwide pandemic. 2.5 years I've been working on this record. 2 days after So I thought, well, okay, in the scheme of things, my little record really doesn't mean anything. So I just sat back and said, okay, no tour. What are you going to do? Nobody can do anything. So some fans on my Facebook page, they said, Dennis, why don't you join the long list of needy celebrities and do something on your own? You know, so I could go, hey, look at me. I have my own TV station. So
Right.
I was hesitant because I didn't even want to make this last record, Ken. I had to be talked into it. So I went down. My piano's out of tune because most of my work is done down here in my recording studio, you know, on electronic pianos. So I go up there and I realize that the piano's out of tune, right in the middle or on middle C. Not the worst thing I've ever heard, but not good. And I decide, because somebody says, you know that song Best of Times where you sing, when people lock their doors and hide inside and rumor has it it's the end of paradise. That seems kind of appropriate.
Yeah.
So I said, okay. So I sat down there and I just did it. I had to call my friend Greg. I don't know how to post to YouTube. Neither do you. So
I've gotten better.
so anyway, he says, you know what we should do for you? We should make you your own video channel. I said, don't be ridiculous. No, nobody's, this is going to go on my Facebook. You know, I have, you know, whatever it is, 46,000 people who follow me. I said, I'm not going through all that trouble. Well, Ken, you know, a lot of people think I know something. I don't know nothing. So it goes up, and today, you know, you called me on the right today. Today it just went past 1 million views.
Wow.
1 million. Now look, I'm not Lady Gaga. I'm not Lady Gaga. Okay? I'm not. I'm not Taylor Swifty. None of them. And this happened to me. So I was like, I swear to God, I was going, I kept watching it. The numbers, they were rolling because people were sharing this thing. And so now there's like 8,000 comments to boot. And I started reading them. I see my name in the sentence of what they're saying about me.
Yeah.
And the love they feel for not only the song, my voice, but I really think in some ways, even though they're not completely saying it, the whole idea of Styx and what it meant to them. And I know that's my name, but I can't grasp how much love people have for this whole thing. It doesn't make sense to me.
What, you know, like McCartney wrote that song that I thought is so brilliant. That was me. When he, you know, that, look at me, sweating cobwebs in the basement. There I was on TV. That was me. And he said, when I look back at all these things, that was me. And I totally understand. There's the professional songwriter. Look at those gold records behind you, the guy who did all that. And then there's you, the guy wearing a sweatshirt, Dennis, who is also that guy. And it's got to be weird. It's something I mentioned to you. Dennis and I know each other for a year or two here. But from the time you wrote Come Sail Away, Lady, Best of Times, to I've been doing this a long time, you've been doing this a long time, and I have never, let me repeat this, never stopped playing Come Sail Away, ever, since I've been on radio. And now, more than ever in the last 6 weeks, Dennis, I swear to you, I have never had more requests. If I played the song every other hour, because, and I get it, you're stuck at home, you're homeschooling the kids, you can't go out with your friends, you're worried about work, the check didn't come, how am I going to pay this? You know what song I need? I don't want anger. I don't want, maybe there's a little of that. What I really want is I'm sailing away. And this fun, beautiful song, and I'm not joking, it's become a spiritual thing that people need to hear. Ken, play this for me now.
Well, getting back to that McCartney thing, in 1962, I formed a band at 26th East, the title of my new album, 101st Place, in my parents' basement with the Panazzo twins who lived across the street from me. And all we were doing, it wasn't rock and roll. Remember, the Beatles invented the rock and roll band as we know it in 1964 when they hit New York City in the Ed Sullivan Show. And so here I'm playing my accordion, and Chuck's playing the guitar, John's playing the drums. We're playing our parents' music because we want our parents' approval, don't we, Ken? You're still looking for that approval from your mom and dad that you didn't get. Please love me. I'm worthy of all of this, Pappy. Right? That's who we are. People like you and me who aspire. There's a crowd of people in the square, and we're jumping up and down, waving our arms and say, hey, look at me. I'm special. Because we want mom or dad to love us more. Anyway, I got to get down on my couch with my psychiatrist. So, so here we are. I'm still the kid with the accordion. I'm sorry. No matter what anybody subscribes to me personally about what I've been involved in creating, I never shake that. So when I see all these comments on Best of Times and now Show Me the Way I did that one as well, I think, oh my God. I don't know who that is, but it gets back to one important thing. Watch how I do this, Ken. Pay attention. This is what professionals do now. The Grand Illusion in 1977, the album that Come Sail Away is on. I told the audience, don't be fooled by the radio. I was saying, welcome to the Grand Illusion. That was us. I was saying, don't buy into this. We were just out there in the 14th row 2 years ago looking up.
Right.
Now you're looking at me. Have expectations of me that are beyond my capabilities, but doggone it, I hope you enjoy the music. So I was really kind of saying, capitalism runs this way. We create illusions and make you think you need something you may not necessarily need, and we make it look so right and glamorous that you'll go out and spend money. For us, we weren't selling radial tires. We were selling our music and and our concert tickets. So no matter what people say about me, and this is the good thing. Listen, no false humility. I know I'm good at what I do. I'm very good at what I don't have to be apologetic, but sometimes people in their need, right?
Right.
To put faith in humanity, politicians, forget it. Athletes, movie stars, blah, 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 blah. Now we're finding with this thing that's going around the country and the world, it's the doctors, it's the nurses, it's the firemen, it's the policemen who really go into harm's way to protect us. Now, I'm not gonna diminish the value of music. I've met enough people in the last 15 years of my life who were in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, and tell me wherever I go, how much what I was involved in creating changed their life and made their life better. And I think this is the most beautiful thing that could ever happen to anybody. I never expected it because I'm going to tell you the truth. Is anybody listening to this podcast?
Probably not, no.
All right, thank God. I was just trying to kick Foreigner and Queen's ass. I was in the ring. Come on, you sons of, right?
Right.
Put up your dukes. I'll show you who's got the best band. That's what I was doing. And now people come up to Dennis, this thing, that thing, this thing, that. And I'm not the only one who hears stories. But when I hear it, I go, did I pick the right profession? Oh, my God. So to all you kids out there, and I call you kids because if you're watching or listening to this thing, you're still a kid at heart. I say, from the bottom of my heart and from my family, you've given us a great life.
The people who get it, my friend Randy Bachman, who, people who get it. My dear friend of mine, Billy J. Kramer, part of the British invasion. He lives out here. He's in Long Island. And we were doing an interview once, and he said, Ken, there's more to life than rock and roll. I never found it, but that's what people tell me. Exactly.
I found it. Married to the same woman for 50 years. Watch this new video, kids. It's on YouTube right now. It's To the Good Old Days, a song I wrote for Julian Lennon and I to sing together. That video, it's just been up a couple days, is really my life beyond being a rock and roll star.
So you go back a little bit because this is spreading like wildfire. That's how I first saw it. Of like, it wasn't even you. It was a friend who said, you know that Dennis DeYoung from Styx did this thing with Julian? And I thought, how did that come about? So I'm just asking you, how does Dennis DeYoung, the writer of all the hits from Styx, wind up doing a song with Julian Lennon?
Gambling debts. The kid...
You know, you guys in Chicago, the way you throw money around in Chicago, the north side, the south side, that money just goes, my friend.
I'll tell you three things right here. Number one, the kid, he's into me, 20 large. So I sent Sal from Jersey. No. This is my last album, 26. Did I hear rock critics applauding? Never mind, shut up. So anyway, this is my last album. And the house that it all began, and where it began, so shall it end. 26 East is the title. There's 3 locomotives traveling through space on the album cover. That represents John, Chuck, and Dennis, the 3 guys, the 3 mooks in the basement who started it. They started it and stayed together through the whole thing till John passed away. And I wanted it to also pay tribute to the band who inspired me to stop playing wedding music in my band, go from accordion to Farfisa organ, and start playing rock and roll. 2-9 back in '64, I watched it all from my front room door. There they were on TV, and I wasn't a fan. All I heard was, I want to hold your hand. Didn't like it, still don't. It's okay. But my buddy had Beatle boots. And he said, we have to watch this. We were going to go to a Catholic high school dance, look for chicks. So the Beatles, all little girls screaming. I'm going, yeah, yeah, yeah. Close your eyes and I'll... Oh, my lovin'.
That's the one.
First song.
Yeah.
The first 20 seconds. I sat down and I went, hamana, hamana, hanan. That was it. It was an epiphany. I looked at that and I said, it wasn't the little girls screaming. Maybe a little bit, but there was such joy, palpable joy with these guys, that I was just like so many musicians and so many billions of people, I was just swept away with it all. And I'm calling McCartney. They need a keyboard player. I'm available. What do you need? You want me to play accordion, Michelle? Call me. So anyway, they never called. So...
I'm sure he's got your number.
Somewhere. So anyway, in conclusion, I wanted to do a Beatles song on my last album. I'd never done one. I wrote one. It was very clever. It'll be on volume 2 of this collection. And I said, I wonder if Julian Lennon will sing with me. So do
you know him at all?
No. Never met him. Don't know nothing. I knew about him. Desert Moon, my claim to fame as a solo artist, was on MTV the same time Volat was released. So I bought the album. I loved the Beatles. I loved Julian Lennon, but I never really thought about him in any, And then I thought, well, he can't sing this song. So I immediately ran in, sat down at the piano. I said, what would it be like if Jules and I were singing a song? I wrote To the Good Old Days. I did a demo. I sent it to him, right? His business manager. He's not doing music. Hasn't been doing it for a while.
Right.
Doesn't even have a music manager. I get this response. Dear Dennis, thanks for thinking of me. I'd be honored to do it.
Wow.
Wait a minute. Don't say wow. Stop everything. Holy.
You can say it.
No. So anyway, I listened to an interview just recently. I've been doing so many interviews where I'm talking to this one guy, and it's a radio interview. I cussed so much I said, "You're ashamed of yourself, you punk." So anyway, we meet in New York at Brooklyn Sound. Mario McNulty and my guy Craig Bauer, engineering. He sings. We're standing. Oh, you're a Beatle guy. Listen to this.
Yeah.
This is the guy at 17 years old who had his life changed. Now I'm standing in the control room with Jules, and we start singing. We're not at the microphone. I says, let's see what this sounds like. Bang, from the get-go. just
Perfect.
as I imagine it.
Yeah,
And so,
tell me what Julian's voice, which is not like John's, it is John's voice. Tell me the hair on the back of your neck. You weren't like just vibrating, hearing for all intents and purposes John Lennon's voice harmonizing with you.
I didn't let on because that would have been silly. But if Jules could have seen
Yeah,
the inner Dennis,
right, right.
I said, hey, Jules, that sounds good. This is going to be good. On the other hand, I was going, I was like a cartoon character inside.
Right.
Because look, nobody understands the universe. We know that right now. We little bags of meat tied together by string floating around here in the universe. We don't know how things work. And so once in a while, for all of us, I hope, things go well. And then sometimes we just don't know what the hell's going on. And so in this instance with Julian, I went, thank you, whoever, whatever, for allowing this to happen.
It's amazing how it comes back to those four guys that and listen, are you a Beatles or a Stones guy? Yes, I'm a Beatles guy, a Stones guy. I'm a Styx guy. I'm a Warren Zevon guy. We don't have to choose. That's the joy of it. We have the biggest hit in the world. But even if you went back to check out the podcast, everybody has the same version of your story, Dennis. George Thorogood, it was a dear friend. I'm sure you've worked with him and know him. As he said, so June 1st, 1964, the most exciting thing that happened that Sunday night on TV, I think Haas ate an entire peach cobbler from the neighbor's house and had to go apologize. 7 days later, the Beatles were on television. And we came into high school. I couldn't study. I couldn't hear. All we did from the minute we got there, did you see it? Who was your favorite? And the girls are shrieking in school. They're still shrieking from the night before. He said, and so there was nothing else in my life. There was nothing else I could think of. Can I do this? Well, I'm not good enough. Is there a way I could fit in? Maybe. I don't know. He said, but there was no other goal. There was nothing, any teacher or anything was happening where I thought there was no other goal when I saw that. And from that, even I never knew Ozzy was a big Beatle fan, crazy, Ozzy, and said to me, he said, you don't get it. I said, what? He goes, we're dumb kids from Birmingham, England. You have two choices if you're growing up as a kid. If you're smart, you go to university. If you're not smart, you go into the factory. In Liverpool, they would have gone to work in the shipyards. We would go to work in the steel mill. My guitarist lost his top two fingers. Playing music was something you did to make $20 on a weekend and hopefully you get laid. You could have a career if you weren't from London and dressed. You could have a career and make money as a musician. Who knew? He goes, they weren't just better. They opened up a way of work that we didn't know existed. And I thought, got it.
And what the hell does George Thorogood's music have to do with the Beatles? Nothing.
Right.
Can't smell it from it. You couldn't find it, but it doesn't matter. The Beatles, I say, Lennon and McCartney were Adam and Eve.
Great line.
We were all begat from them. And listen, I love the Stones as a songwriting team of rock songs.
Yeah.
Unmatched. You gotta here's the thing about the human voice. How can Luciano Pavarotti, Mick Jagger, Geddy Lee, and Johnny Mathis all have millions of fans? Well, apparently the sound of a human voice is very subjective. So for the Stones, for me, I couldn't get my head around Mick's voice. I know why people like, but as songwriters, extraordinary. But when you start with the Beatles, it doesn't matter who came next. You know what I mean? People dug their heels in, right? Here comes Joey and the Pacemakers. Nice. Where are the Beatles? See?
Right.
Here's the day. I'm in pieces, bit. Yeah, noisy. The Beatles, am I saying the truth?
Absolutely. And the other thing that to me, that whenever I get interviewed about all this is, what band started with Twist and Shout, She Loves You, I Want to Hold Your Hand in 1964, and literally 2 years later, that same guys are writing Turn Off Your Mind, Relax, and Float Downstream, This Is Not Dying. 1966, 25-year-old Paul McCartney writes Eleanor Rigby. That's like you with the accordion writing Best of Times? Like, how could anyone that at still in their earliest stages think to be able, I mean, you work so hard, so many hours to get to a songwriting place to realize songs of hope and love, of Best of Times, Sail Away, Lady, these songs that resonate from the heart, the Paradise, things that matter. But you don't start out there with playing the accordion. These kids like lightning went from, covering Little Richard to writing songs that break your heart. That's amazing.
Here's what I said. I remember when I first, you'll know this, Ken, we're the same person. I'm better looking. McCartney and Lennon coming together it's proof positive of the mysteries of the universe. It doesn't even make sense. Rubber Soul. Can't wait to get whatever Beatle album's coming next. I get it. I put it on. I just see in the face, I can't forget the time or play. And it goes through this whole thing. And I listen to it, and I'm thinking, what have they done? Well, this is awful. Third spin. That's interesting. Fourth spin. Oh, my God. So I said, Rubber Soul was goodbye Beatlemania, hello the future.
Right.
That's what they did. How that happens, it's a mystery. But with McCartney and Lennon, and look, they needed each other.
Of course.
On every fundamental level, because people who are never in bands and they write about it, they're ignorant fools. They don't understand they're ignorant fools. They don't understand that
the pressure cooker.
Competitiveness is what drives it, to be the best guy in the band. Okay, but as long as it's always for the same goal. When that's happening, brilliant things happen. But a little friction is good. The yin and the yang. And McCartney and Lennon, when they came together, they caught that magically. And then the music came out, and you think to yourself, how long was that period when all that? Styx' greatest hits record. He's got 14 tracks. Pretty good. This is good music. That's one Beatle album. Now, listen, I don't want to talk about the Beatles anymore because I think McCartney owes me some money for all this.
As George Thorogood said, following up to you, he goes, you know what? We all owe McCartney at least $1 or McCartney and Lennon for everything we've ever written. We owe them something because he said, I'm being largesse here. I don't think any of us don't owe them something because why are we all here? Why are we all here? We love Little Richard. We love Chick Berry. The switch that ignited all of us was that show, was that band. And nobody's ever said anything different to me.
If they did, they're stupids.
Right. Yeah, I'll take one other quick one. John Lodge from the Moody Blues. They were a big band in Birmingham. He said we were the big local band, and we were El Riot and the Rebels. We used to wear like straw hats, like Mexican hats. Stupid. He said, but every band we knew was so and so and the so and so's. Buddy Holly and the Crickets, Elvis and the Jordanaires. There's a handsome guy in front and 2-3 guys behind him doing this when they play. One night they tell us you're the opening act. What? Yeah, I was 63. Wait, we're the opening? Yeah, there's a band from Liverpool. They have a record contract. From Liverpool, you're going to bring a band from another town into my bar? Yes, you're the opening act. We're furious. We're 17 years old, and we stand in the front with our hands folded. And these guys run out, and he goes, here's the thing that many people can't. He goes, you're so used to it. One guy in the front, 2, 3, 4 guys in the back. One guy in the front, Elvis, whoever, 3 guys in the back. 3 guys in the front, and all 3 sing, and they take turns singing. And you stood there and went, well, which one's the lead singer? Wait, that guy's singing. Wait, that guy's singing. Now the third guy's singing? And I turned to my guitarist. I said, can you sing? And he went, nope. And you go, okay, it's all different.
You're fired.
Yeah.
You're fired. We need a singer.
Right. Suddenly the guitarist has to sing. And if you're going to play piano, the other guy's got to sing too. And if you can't, you need a guy who can, because that's the new rule. It's the drums in the back, but everybody else is in the front singing and performing. And I never thought of it. We said we never saw 3 mics in the front of the stage. No one had ever set up a stage that I knew before that. I'm like, I never thought of it.
I tell you, what did I say in the beginning? We're all begat. It's in the Bible. Check it. I
It's,
think it's under Ezekiel.
it's
Remember
under
Zeke?
Ezekiel Bread, yes.
Yeah.
So where do we find the Julian Lennon video? Give us the channels. How do we find you?
Well, if you want to, the album's coming out May 22nd. Put back 6 weeks. I wonder why, he said. Oh, bro. So,
Can't
the
wait to hear it, by the way. Real.
the single "To the Good Old Days," I just released the video 2, 3 days ago, and you can go to YouTube. It's right there. It's on my Facebook page. Everything on my Facebook page is written by me. No stooges, no bots. You want to know who I am? I write, and then I read all the comments. So it's a video that was made because of the pandemic. Jules and I were supposed to be in it. But then, ba-boom! Have you heard there's something going around? He ends up in Europe, I end up here, and, well, I'm still in my house. So it's on YouTube. Go look at it. It's sitting right there. I don't think they charge on YouTube, do they? No, they don't. So what it is I had to think of something new. The song is really about life, and in this particular instance, my life. So I went and I gathered all the old VHS, the Super 8s, the 8 millimeter stuff that doesn't have sound. I searched everywhere. I got all the old photographs going back as far as 1940, 47, when I was born. And I put them together, and it's my life. It shows John and Chuck Panazzo and myself as kids in the basement. It's all there. It is the most beautiful, heartwarming thing I have ever been involved with. It shows you my life, but you know what? It shows you your life, Ken. Have you seen it?
Yes, I have, and I just melted.
Didn't you see yourself in there? That's you.
Of course.
It's not me. It's us. That's what we went through of a certain age, and so in some small way, the pandemic was a career boost. I don't know how these things happen, but here's the good thing. No crappy hotels, no TSA. You know what I mean? Who
Right.
slept on that bed before me? Yeah. You know, want to know the worst thing that can happen to you when you go into a hotel?
What?
Happen to accidentally see the person who was in that room the night before come back to the hotel room to see if they left something. Then you get a look at him. You go, oh, I don't want to be in this. You got to imagine no one's ever slept in that bed before, right?
Of course.
So anyway, it's on YouTube. Go look at it it's not going to cost you anything.
All right.
I have my own YouTube channel. Did I tell you that?
Yes, you did. So send me all the links because I'm going to post it at q1043.com so everybody can connect. Maybe this is our new normal. I don't know. I miss kibitzing with you and having you in the studio. We'll do that again someday. But this was awesome. Thank you so much for sharing the time and just letting us. You know what it is also? To go into your home, to see your home studio. Even people like this going, oh, Ken, look, you got a Hofner on the wall. Like, yes, of course. You know, it's more, there's a more intimate sharing now than ever before.
This is actually my neighbor's house.
When he's not home, we do this.
He's very talented.
New York's classic rock, Q1043.